Femi Fani Kayode. I always want to take whatever he says with a pinch of salt. He's not someone that should be trusted. Although in politics, you might have your personal grievances against people, but the only way you can put it out is via political channel. I mean, maybe during election or when you are not in power, you make it appear as if all your vituperation, all your anger, you just make it look like, oh, because it is politics. We've often heard this: interest first, friendship later. In fact, politicians will tell you permanent interest and nothing more on friendship. If my interest aligns with yours, if it takes me to lick your boots, I will do it. That's what they say. Now, Femi Fani-Kayode, member of PDP, he has moved to APC. He has gone around members of APC to eat food. He went around eating food. And prior to that, he did an unpaid job. He moved around some part of Nigeria claiming that he is observing. He even had a press conference. He has some change in his pocket, the one that they claim he still has from when he used to be minister. Well, he went around, did what he needed to do, acted like he was observing the job, and he, what they do? He cross-carpeted, saying now he has seen what Buhari is doing. Before, he used to live on Twitter, and apart from his family issue with his wife, constant online settlement. But this time around, he has decided to face Peter Obi's running mate, Dati, Ahmed Dati. And he wrote, "Yes, I have infant children. I love them deeply, and I'm very proud of them. Each of them is worth more than 100 million of that bogus, classless, empty, and 419 contraption that you call your university. And I thank God for their lives. Each of them, like their illustrious forefathers and siblings, will go to Cambridge, Durham, or London University, and not to that half-baked, neophyte, dubious, shady, primitive, low-ranked, unlettered, unlearned, peasant institution and Bawdy Warhouse that you built, run, and own, and that you claim to be an institution of higher learning." It's been Labour Party throwing shades at APC. I mean, Peter Obi followers and Peter Obi and his crew, and also APC throwing shade. In fact, they said Peter Obi is non-existent. It's not that the real person that has to be dealt with is Atiku. Atiku is a major contestant in this. But what is it about this personal clash between Femi Fani-Kayode and Ahmed Dati, Peter Obi's running mate? What is really going on? Did Ahmed Dati say something that prompted this? Obasanjo, who is not also clean, said something about this man, Femi Fani-Kayode. He said, Femi Fani-Kayode, give him food, he will sing any kind of song that you want him to sing. Right now, Femi Fani-Kayode is living up to that expectation. He went on to say, finally, unlike your brood of ill-bred desert rats and inconsequential piglets that you call yours, my children are human beings, each fearfully and wonderfully made. Unlike yours, they are not an uncontrollable infestation of Mauritanian worms and rotting maggots or a bunch of Ravinian wolves and ignorant, vagrant, and sheep-shagging goats. Femi Fani-Kayode to Dati Ahmed, 4th December 2022. I had wanted to limit my response to you to the above words and tweet, but given the fact that you are not gifted with much intelligence, I decided to give you a little more of my time and add this brief note. You accused me of sleeping with women whilst you were building your university and whilst Peter Obi was building his business, as if it's a crime to sleep with your wife. Now, this is where it all started from. Ahmed Dati, we are in the political season now. Everyone is throwing shade right, left, and center. Spokesperson of different party, they are coming out with narratives, saying all sorts, and it has come to physical. I mean, direct insult, throwing stones at each other directly. But Ahmed Tinubu has been called all sort of names. Peter Obi has been called all sort of names. All of them are throwing shades at each other. Now, Ahmed Dati said this Femi Fani-Kayode is all over the place sleeping with women, whilst me, I'm building university. While Peter Obi was building business, him is sleeping with women all over the place. And he asked him, is it a crime to sleep with my wife? How is this anything to do with giving Nigerians what needs to be given? Well, you know what it is. He said, you also accuse me of having what you describe as infant children, as if it is also a crime to have children that are young, meaning Femi Fani-Kayode does not have grown-up children already. Like, I'm done with having children considering his age and all of that. Femi Fani-Kayode has other women. He has married, I think, up to 2 or 3 times. It didn't work. He just does not have that ability to keep. Maybe he's unlucky or it is his character. I don't know. And they've accused him of the same thing, like he's that kind of person. Well, the accusation went on. He said, finally, you accuse me, along with Pastor Reno Mokri, Senator Dino Melaye, and Olorogun Festus Keyamo, none of whom are in Labour Party, of all indulging in wife abuse and all manner of things. When did you decide to go so low, Dati? Is this the same man that was once so civilized, decent, and gentle, and that I consider to be my friend and brother? You see, both of them have shared times together. But now, Labour, APC, they started talking about each other's, lacuna, started digging more holes. Look at what politics and your association with the obedient has done to you. Consider how much your mind and manners have degenerated and the level to which you have sunk. I waited for you to deny saying these things, but you refused to do so. Now, I have no choice but to respond. I really do wonder which hole you crawled out of. Has it occurred to you that none of those whose names you mentioned are on the ballot, and neither are our wives and children? Is this really the game you want to play? And if so, can you stand the repercussions and consequences? Do you have the stomach for such a fight? Ordinarily, I would have ignored you, but for the sake of my children, I will not do so. I ask you, since when did people's family matters and private life been brought into political fray and arena for politicians? By politicians. This is especially so of wives and children. This is something that I personally never do, and I frown on it, but clearly you have misconstrued my weakness, my silence for weakness. This is the measure of how daft you are. This is a testimony to the fact that you are as shallow as a Turkish doormat. Should we not shield and protect our wives and children from politics and keep them out of the fray? Has that not been the norm? You see, these people, they keep their kids and wives safe. They call you to come out, to come and protest, come and do that, come and do that. You see, they keep their own children safe, as if their children are not Nigerians. He went on to say, beside which, he said, you know very well that so much is hidden in yours. Beside which, what you do with your wife behind closed doors is best not mentioned or exposed here. Otherwise, all hell will break loose. What you did to other ladies and girls in the past is even worse. We really ought not to throw stones in glass houses or reveal each other's secret. All this pettiness, vitriol, and attacks on family, women, children, simply because I pointed out how ignorant you are and prove it by citing your consistent factual blunders, particularly about the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Margaret Thatcher, who you were stupid enough to claim led the UK in the 50s, was a member of the Labour Party and was a supporter of the trade unions. Not even my 7-year-old son could make such a blunder. And frankly, it was a disgrace and embarrassment to us all that a man of your age, who aspires to be vice president of our country, knows nothing about world politics, world history, or the politics of our former colonial masters. This is going deeper. My advice to you is that it is better to remain silent on national and international issues that you know nothing about, rather than prove, confirm, and advertise your stupidity by speaking nonsense. You may own an institution of higher learning, which you insist on calling a university, even though, in my view, and by my standard, it is not fit to be called one. But clearly, you have no brain in your head. Worst of all, a few years ago, whilst on the Senate floor, you called for the execution of all gay men and women and members of the LGBTQ community, which proves your barbaric nature, your primitive disposition, your evil and fascistic tendencies, and your intolerance and insensitivity to the yearning and sexual orientation of others. Many of us may not endorse, encourage, or support homosexuality and sodomy, but we certainly do not believe that gays should be killed simply for their sexual preferences because it is a matter of choice. To suggest that gays should be lynched, tortured, murdered in the street is nothing but wickedness, and such thoughts can only emanate from a twisted mind and a dark, callous heart which belongs to the 6th century, which has no business vying for power in our country. On your allegation against me of sleeping with women, let me respond by saying that you know nothing about my private life, and if you did, you'll be surprised about the level of discipline, restraint, decency that I exercise in such matters due to my Christian faith, which I happen to take very seriously. Unlike many, I am not one of those that gives himself out to bouts of debauchery and wild sexual escapade, and I prefer to live a relatively fasted life. Yet, even if I do like women, it's better to do so than to sleep with goats, cows, and dogs like some that you know and that are close to you have cultivated the habit of doing. I have had the honor and privilege of having been associated with the most beautiful and most intelligent women all over the last 62 years of my life, and I consider it to be a gift from God. 62. Femi Fani-Kayode is not a boy. He went on to say no crime in that either, and I'm truly sorry that you were stuck with the ugly vultures and low, unintelligent creatures that you call your women, and that you have had to manage throughout your life. This explains your frustration and your fixation and obsession about other people's children, women, and wives. In this respect, I guess my luck was good and yours was bad. Now, let us look at your boastful claims. Sleeping with women. I don't think I want to go on about this anymore. He has said what he wants to say. And speaking about Peter Obi building up his business and being a governor whilst I was sleeping with women, but you forgot to mention that he stands accused of running drugs in Malaysia, giving orders to kill people and dumping them in Oji River when he was governor, causing the painful, horrific, and frightful death of his own father as a consequence of unspeakable and unmentionable practice and dealings, and having secret offshore bank accounts with stolen money in shady places like Panama. So now, for those who are saying, Peter Obi, you are hearing now, politicians know secrets about themselves. When pushed, they will spill it out. Peter Obi, according to what is there, was once accused of running drugs in Malaysia, giving orders to murder people, drop them in Oji River, body parts shipped to India, etc. This accusation. Well, I'm going to end with what is said here, although he said more. So you said, myself, Reno Mokri, Festus Keyamo, and Dino Melai, all men that, though we may not agree on everything or support the same candidate, are far more cerebral, formidable, and intelligent than you. You were wife beaters, but you forgot to mention the fact that you are unstable, aggressive husband with a violent temper and serious anger management issues. You also forget to mention that you subjected your first wife, the daughter of a prominent, highly respected, and well-known army general from Gaza in Zamfara State, to how you beat her mercilessly and how she suffered. You have subjected your present wife, the daughter of a respected and much loved Second Republic minister and politician from Kano, to precise the same treatment. If anyone is the wife beater, surely it is you. Femi Fani-Kayode, from London, Cambridge, and all of that. He has written a lot. I mean, if I say a lot, Femi Fani-Kayode wrote an epistle. When I say epistle, he wrote the way. If you see what Femi Fani-Kayode talked about, is the director of special media projects, special media operations, news media of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima. What are your thoughts as regards what he has said? Now, they will be throwing shit at each other. They are writing articles and, writing epistles, writing. Soon, you will see them hugging each other, eating at each other's house. Not be fooled by these people. Although he decided to take it personal, and he has said what he needs to say. He said, please do not go into war with me. No, be civilized. If you do not want to be civilized, I'm going to show the level of your ignorance. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. The red notification icon bell is very important. Please do tap on it. And if you've been with us on this platform, I say a very big thank you and God bless.